Shalom. Call halal Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakaha Kodash. Double honors unto the apostles, double honors unto the elder bishops. Salutations to all my fellow laborers that do this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so, now more so than ever. The would-be judges, the 144,000, and the scattered elect that are scattered around the four corners of the earth, that be like unto the speckled bird, the Israelite foreigners among the heathen nations that have the appearance of the heathen nations, the Israelite foreigners, right? This is not a black only thing. And to the few Akwaf that are listening and learning, to you I say Shalom. This is your brother Malcolm from the branch of the Great Millstone here in Chicago, coming at you with another lesson in truth. And I'm a little upset right now. I just got the warning that that some of my content may have been is being removed, and of course, you know, I challenged it. You know, I'm appealing it for the simple fact that they're saying that they found violence on my, you know, it's a scene of some dismembered bodies from the movie Sicario, and the scene is on YouTube. The scene is from YouTube, so I put the video on that and paused it on YouTube. So how you got to remove something off YouTube for showing something that's on YouTube? This will be the second time that they tried to do that. Just an excuse, because it's not the visuals that they're worrying about. You can find even worse ones of people getting shot and killed and ran over in car accidents, all manner of violence on YouTube. But it's because of it's my video and it's bringing out edification, which is exposing Amalek and Esau, and, you know, the self-proclaimed white man. That's what this is about. But nevertheless, you know, I'm a little heated over that. But I'm going to do this quick lesson on this guy. I just happened to stumble across this. And it's called Goshen Prepping. You can see the titles of his video. This is the latest one. Only the Prepared will survive. The Coming Blackout. And then we go down, because this is the one that I seen. Not her. She'll be collected up when that time comes too. But it was They Are Coming. That was the one that I saw. And it's about marauder. The marauder effect, which happens when society breaks down. So we're going to click on it, and hopefully it won't play the commercials all over again. It probably will. And of course, so Salakia, we'll just skip those.
History has shown us that disasters occur. Both.
All right, so good. Let me set it up. I want to put the name of the video, right? And I'm going to read a scripture first, all right? Because the truth of the matter is, only the predestined elect are going to make it through this. This is 2 Ezra 16 and 73, and it says, "Then shall they be known who are my chosen, and they shall be tried as gold in the fire." So everyone has to go through it. Everyone will be tested, and only the elect chosen few, which are Israelites according to the flesh, will make it through these upcoming apocalyptic scenarios that are real life, that are about to happen, that are actually happening. This is why he's making this video. He's going to tell you about himself. You know, he's a prepper. He's military. I think he's a doctor, you know, and he's going to talk. And the things that he's saying make sense. But I have to tell you this. It makes sense on a carnal level. And, you know, and it would be a wise thing to have extra food. It would be a wise thing to own, you know, a couple firearms. It would be a wise thing to have some sort of knowledge of how to protect yourself. But to think that that is going to get you through what's about to come, the only thing that can get you through this is Yahweh Bahasham Yahushai. Period. If the Lord is not with you, your food, your substance will be someone else's until someone else comes to take it from them. That is the brutal reality of what is about to happen. Okay? Every apocalyptic movie, from The Walking Dead to The Last of Us, really good one was Black Summer. You had some of the nicest people, you know, broke down really quickly and became really bad people real fast. And then you're just going to have the people who are just desperately trying to survive. You know, when there's a last thing of water and they want it, you want it, literally becomes a fight to the death. When it becomes a life and death, or the man is trying to get the canned goods for his family, and the guy that's trying to get the canned goods for his family, and they have themselves a good old knife fight. One's got a hammer, one's got a butcher knife. It is what it is. All right. So with that, you have to understand that you can call yourself prepared, but without the Lord, there is no hope for you. So we're going to play his, about 5 minutes of his video, and then I'm going to go into the scriptures. Matter of fact, let me read another scripture first. Then we'll play his video. I'm going to play about 5 minutes of it. This is Psalms 37. And start at verse 18. And it reads, Yahweh knoweth the days of the upright, and their inheritance shall be forever. They shall not be ashamed in evil time, and in the days of famine they shall be satisfied. But the wicked shall perish, and the enemies of Yahweh shall be as the fat of lambs. They shall consume into the smoke, and they shall consume away. And that's exactly what's going to happen. All right, they're either going to be consumed by the fire of the destruction, or they'll be consumed by people, because people are actually going to eat other people. People are going to eat themselves. It's happened in the past, and it's going to happen in the future. Jumping down to verse 22, Psalms 37:22. For such as the blessed be shall inherit the earth, and they shall be cursed of him that shall be cut off. The steps of a good man are ordered by Yahweh, and delighteth in his way. The Lord's going to literally order the ways of the righteous men. The Lord's going to tell you to turn right, turn left, whatever. You know, if you watch the movie, what was the perfect? Another perfect example was the Book of Eli. Post-apocalyptic situation. Food is scarce. People are actually eating other people in some places. All right, and the Lord was guiding his steps. All right. Psalms 37:24. Though he fall, he shall not be utterly cast down, for Yahweh upholdeth him with his hand. So, and who is that? The elect. Those who have been the elect chosen, which only can be an Israelite, first off. Those who call on the name, the true name. All right, not Yahweh, not Jehovah, not Yehoshua, not Ahiah. The name is Yahweh. Yahweh Shai. Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. Not JC, not Most High, Christ bless. All right. You got to have that name. So without any further ado, let's let this guy, this doomed individual, speak his knowledge.
Natural and man-made. And
hold on. Here we go.
That disasters occur, both natural and man-made, and they affect us all. And when they do happen, that's often where you see like the worst in humanity come through. And we have to prepare for this, because we end up with people what are called marauders. In fact, there's a whole term based on this called the marauder effect, where natural disaster occurs. There's initial panic where people are like, oh my gosh, what do I do? What do I do? And they don't know how to act. Desperation sets in for a lack of food or water or other supplies. And then the third thing kicks in, and they become marauders. And I'm not kidding you. Please listen to me very carefully. I've been in combat. I've seen third world countries. I've been out in the middle of nowhere. And you'll see the most intelligent, relaxed individuals ever on the planet. And they have a family and everything's just fine. And when you see these disasters, it doesn't take much to push them to become that marauder. And
that's happened here in America as well. And might we add that third countries only exist because of Western policy. Third world countries are rich in resources, and America comes in with guys like him, bald faces, military guys with guns, to take their resource and keeps the people of those lands poor, that it can keep a select individuals in America wealthy. That is a brutal fact. So a lot of the things that he's complaining, that he's speaking about what he's seen, he and his people caused. This is 2 Ezra 15:57. Thy children shall die of hunger, and thou shalt fall through the sword. Thy city shall be broken down, and all thine shall perish with the sword in the field. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger, and eat their own flesh, and drink their own blood, for the very hunger of bread and thirst of water. And when it's their own blood, it's gonna be meaning their own people, their friends, their families. People who are once your friends, and the neighbors are going to be some of the worst people. All right. He's, because these people, he's going to speak about befriending certain people and getting your own group and things of that. Those people going to turn on each other like they always do. They show you that in every movie. They always end up turning on each other. Or another outside group comes and takes them over.
Yourself may be thinking, that'll never happen to me. You cannot have those thoughts. So we prepare and we train. Not only do we train to...
Are you ready to light up
Son
your
of a
weekends?
bastard, shut your
I was
fat
looking
ass
for a
up.
way to turn my weekends into something more.
World is falling
Now,
apart.
either
You're talking about weekends.
we stockpile food and water and gear, and we train and drill, all that. But we also have to prepare for those marauders, because the marauder effect is not fantasy. It's not simply some term somebody made up and said, oh, you know what, let's see if we can coin another term. It's absolutely true. I've seen it with my own eyes. How about you? Have you seen something this? Put in the comments below. When you see desperation set in, desperate times call for desperate measures.
Hey, look, I've seen how foolish and violent people get just from something, called Black Friday. People trampled to death, beaten to death, stabbed, shot, fights in parking lots, fights in stores. And that was in a green tree. How much, someone could throw that on the comment board, Baba Kashab, but how much more when the trees have no fruit, when they're dead?
People will do anything to be able to, survive. So what do? There's 4 things we're going to take a look at, and it's a very short video, just something to keep in mind to be able to prevent or go against marauders in case they come after you. Number 1 is operational security, OPSEC, as we call it in the military. I talk about this on the channel. I've actually mentioned on the channel literally just like a week or 2 ago, and somebody said, OPSEC, that's ridiculous, you're a fool. Really? Because when it comes to me and my family, there's nothing more vital in my life that I'm going to do to protect them if need be. I will protect them. And the thing is, if people know you're a prepper, they know you're stockpiled, you become a target. A violent target, mind you. They're going to come after you violently because you have something you need. Because remember, this isn't simply saying, oh, look, the lights are out, let's go attack our neighbor for corned beef hash. We're talking about they haven't had food. 9 meals to anarchy. That's all it is. Just miss 9 meals and it's anarchy. They're going to be coming to you violently because they know you.
And that's getting pretty close, man. And here's another thing that he's not mentioning. When it gets to that point, and it is, and it's sooner than you think, people are not going to come after you just because they know or think you're a prepper. They're going to come after you just to get any supplies that they can have. They're going to come after you with the whole Debo effect. You got something. And that's all it takes for you to have something. Because shoot, you may have a couple extra firearms. You may have some bullets. You may have a little bit of water. You may have a couple swords and knives in your house, which they're going to use on their further marauding. So people are going to become, opportunist. What you see in all those movies, put the backpack down, put it on the ground. They see someone walking with a backpack, that person becomes a target because what are they looking for? Food and supplies. So it's going to be a dog-eat-dog world. Okay? So it's not just, your neighbor, especially neighbors that have fixations. People who are hooked on different meds, people that are hooked on tobacco, people that can't control their drinking. They're going to constantly be looking because they know that other people are going to have their things. And if they have, a couple men that are armed in their group, well, that's all that it takes. So the marauder effect is so in that aspect, he's speaking 100% truth.
Have some canned food. Even if they don't know you're a prepper, they think you might have food. Turns out you are a prepper, and when they get here, they're jackpot. So you have to be able to,
Jackpot.
first of all, have security. I've mentioned this so many times. Don't tell people you're preppers. Don't ever do that. And it's tough because we want to be able to have people in our group, and we'll talk about that in a second, a community. But understand, talking too many.
So that's double talk, because he's saying don't tell people, but yet you want to have people in your community. Well, in your prepping community, the only way you're going to have people in your prepping community is if you tell them. And it's always going to be a traitor. There's always someone who's going to want more, or someone that's going to get caught by other marauders, and then they're going to, and to save their own ass, they're going to tell them, I know what some stuff is, I can take you to it. We see it in every goddamn apocalyptic movie. Somebody gets caught up, and to save their own ass, they sell out their group. It's like, I know where there's water. I know where there's food. I know where there's women. And then they bring the marauders to where the stuff is. And in often cases, they end up joining on with them. And their own friends are brokenhearted because they're like, they see that you're the one that betrayed us. That scenario plays out over and over again.
Neighbors about what you have and stuff, don't just throw it all out there. That's a really bad thing. Have operational security. Don't let people know that you are a prepper and stockpile. Number two, they're still going to find out. They're still going to come to your door. So you have to have defensive measures. So many times I say this. You need to be in shape, as best shape as you can be. I'm not saying you're going to be amazing. We're not going to be like Arnold Schwarzenegger back in his day anyway.
You should be able to sprint at least a block or two at a fast pace, especially with some weight on you, with a backpack, carrying a little bit of weight. You should be able to do that. And if you can't sprint a block or two at a fast pace and then still have the energy to fight if you have to, or continue to move at a slower pace, you sprint a block or two and it's going to take you 3 minutes to catch your breath, you're already done. All right. That's just on a physical carnal level. Number one is that if the Lord is not with you, you're already done. You're already the walking dead, so to speak. You're dead. Have the term dead man walking? That's exactly what you are. Dead woman walking? That's exactly what you are.
But the best shape you can be in. Don't simply just give up on this. Number two, you need to be able to practice, train, and drill with weapons. You need to have this so that way when they do come to your door, you're good. You need to be able to defend your home, not simply just with weapons, but with hardened steel bolts and deception. We've talked about this so many times on the channel.
Well, but even David tells you that, he's the mightiest man that ever lived. All right. That he, wasn't his bow of steel that, they got him through, but it was his power, Yahweh. All right. And that's what it comes down to. But, that's enough on him. You kind of get the gist of it. All right. And you can watch the video. The video, it's a pretty decent video, good information. But, yeah, let's just finish off with some scriptures. I didn't want this to be long. We'll go back to 2 Ezra 16. I'm start at 18 through 27. It says the beginning of sorrows. Verse 17. Woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? Because it's going to be so bad out here. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings. And that was Ezra saying that. And he is a man of the Lord. Okay? But it says the beginning of the sorrows and the great mournings, and the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these days come? So Ezra's is like, what am I going to do? All right? And the powers that be are going to be in fear. You can see that now. That's why Trump now is trying to all of a sudden make deals with China and cut back the tariffs, but the damage is already done. It's irreversible. All right? And then the Lord said there's not going to be peace. But when they say peace and safety, sudden destruction will come. You saw him who prophesies peace, peace, but there is no peace. Okay? 2 Ezra 16:19. Behold, famine and plague and tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. The Lord is sending this because the amendment has to come. But for all these things, But for all these things, they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor shall they always be mindful of the scourges. People still going to run their mouths and still do wickedly, still prey on one another. Behold, the victual shall be good, shall be so good cheap upon the earth, that they shall think themselves to be in good case, and then evil shall grow upon the earth, sword, famine, and great confusion. And we could be at that part now. If China and America are trying to make deals, and they're going to drop the prices, and the victuals are going to be cheap all of a sudden. All right. It says, for many of them that dwell upon earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape of hunger shall the sword destroy. And you know, you got wars going on all throughout North Africa and Western Asia that they fraudulently call the Middle East. And I can only imagine the starving and the death that's going on over there right now, the marauding on top of the war. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no comfort, and no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted and the city shall be cast down. So, you know, when these cities collapse, especially here in America, man, people are going to put their dead out in the alleys, outside. Okay? The water's not going to run. So the sewage is going to stink. So you're going to have dead people, dead animals, sewage. It's going to get pretty bad, man. Then you're going to have all this extra disease. Oh my goodness. It's going to get bad, man. Right? And there shall be no man left to till the earth and to sow it, and the trees shall give fruit, and who shall gather them? So that's already happened with, you know, when Trump sent away all the brown people and all the food went bad. Now he's trying to bring in white people so boldly, pale people, and just so blatantly racist, who also have not been vetted, who are coming from some of the most racist societies, coming from South Africa, where apartheid is still fresh, openly racist actions, murderous actions, land theft, and things of that nature, rape, criminals, unvetted, pale ones that are going to come to America and bring that sentiment and join on to the ones who are here, who have that mindset, and actually show them how it's done. They've actually got experience doing these sort of things. All right, so it's just going to make everything here even worse. This is 2 Ezra 15, and I'm going to start at verse 14, and it reads, Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And people are trying to flee. I just watched videos of people saying that the American dream is dead, or some people saying it never existed. It was all fraud and a lie anyway. And guess what? That's 100% true. And it's an American dream is really an American nightmare. All right. And sedition is about to happen. People are tired of this tyrannical government that keeps trampling on the law of the land, and which is the supreme law of the land is the Constitution. And they're saying what Trump is doing. No, they've been trampling on the Constitution and oppressing the people. All right. You know, I always mention the IRS and Title 4D child support. Those are complete violation. Those two entities are in complete violation of the supreme law of the land. They violate the laws of the land to enforce those things. All right. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. So they're going to say to hell with the mayor, to hell with the governor, to hell with the politicians. People are just going to, do what they're tired. It says, for a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. He won't be able because of martial law. He won't be able to because of the danger, the threat of the people in that city. He won't be able because of checkpoints. All right. What was that movie, The Domestics? Another really good movie. The collapse of society. You couldn't go into certain cities and certain travel down roads Not because of the military, because of the people that were guarding those roads and waiting for you to come down those roads and you become a victim. All right? They ran your pockets, had their way with your woman, and or in some cases you became food, literally. All right? It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, and the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. They're going to destroy houses, looking for food, water, supplies. All right, women and children. We live in a place where children are not safe, even in these times. In normal times in America, children are not safe. Trafficked, all this pedo stuff that's going on, trafficking within our government, the trafficking of women. All right, in the green tree, how much more when the victuals failed? A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. So like it shows you in this right there, it says they are coming. You see the hooded guys with weapons, long trench coats with hoods on, probably got on masks, and they have weapons. The government says get ready. Let's go back up to the first two. Definitely going to collect her up. The coming blackouts. Only the prepared will survive. When the truth of the matter is only the elect will survive. That will probably be the name of this video. So with that, I want to give all praises, all honor and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakah HaKodash, Kwam Yasharala, Abad Babal.